Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, Sam Bankman-Fried, he is found guilty on all 7 charges in the FTX fraud trial. Quoting Max Kaiser, tough talk when it comes to the minor league. Drug Adderall ish coiner like SBF. But where's all the bravado when Jamie Dimon gets caught manipulating markets and defrauding the public again? Or the next crooked Warren Buffett bailout? He makes a great point. Also in today's show, Bitcoin to the moon. Send it. I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 Bitcoin price predictions for 2024 and beyond. That's what's up. Also the latest from Cathie Wood of ARK Invest. Also a 2,700% Bitcoin price explosion is incoming, courtesy of one catalyst, according to the BitMEX founder, Arthur Hayes. We'll also be talking about breaking news. The Valkyrie CIO expects the spot Bitcoin ETF approval before the end of the month. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome, everyone. Shout out to everyone in that live chat. Are we clear on the screen? Audio sound good? Let me know, fam. I appreciate y'all. What up, BitMat? What up, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg? You have the most epic username, by the way. You're going to notice a poll in the live chat. I asked a question. Spot ETF approval date. Will it be November, as we're going to be sharing in today's story before the end of the month? Could it be December? Could it be January? Could it be March? Noting that the Bitcoin halving is scheduled to take place in April of 2024. All good. I appreciate that, fam. Shout out to y'all. Game, what it do? Passive income, digital dankness, Bitcoin Maximus, all of our moderators. Emilio, let's freaking go. Digital Maniac. Yeah. Fredo NYC. What it do? Appreciate y'all. Glenn Bounds, 5 times 5. Send it and let's get it. All right, guys, let's rock, shall we? Welcome, everyone. Be sure to smash that subscribe button for an on-screen shout out and some recognition. Also, be sure to hit that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, especially if you're gaining value out of today's show. Today is podcast episode number 1450. Can you believe it? I'm your host, JV, and today is November 3rd. Welcome to Moonvember of 2023. Let's kick off today's show with our market watch, as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin up about 0.25%, hovering just under 35,000. We have Ether up 0.3%, trading at $1,800. Cardano, one of the top gainers, up 5.5%. And also XRP, barely in the green. And if we are in doubt, they say you need to zoom out. Let's look at the 1 month. Wow, that's much more sexier, isn't it? Now we have Bitcoin up 27% for the month. We got ETH up about 10%. Solana's up almost 70%. Cardano up 23%. XRP up 14%. BNB up 7%. Personally, I love it when everything in crypto is a winner. It doesn't get no sexier than that. And look at Chainlink up 52% for the month. Good Lord. And checking out CoinMarketCap, we're sitting just under 1.3 trillion with about 45 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance pulled back a little bit, currently at 52.7%. And the Ether dominance in the 16% range for the first time I have ever seen that I could recall. It's currently at 16.9% as the Bitcoin dominance continues to outpace the rest of the market, especially Ethereum. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours. Thorchain up 14.5%, trading at $3.20. And Oasis Network up 12%, trading at 6.2 cents, followed by the Trust Wallet token up almost 12%, trading at $1.23. And checking out Crypto Bubbles so we can see the top gainers for the past week. Massive shout out to Emilio. I appreciate the super chat, fam. You're way too kind. Much love, much respect. He just said, you are amazing. Nah, I think you're amazing. And I appreciate the orange so we can orange pill more mofos and help change the world. Let's freaking go. Much love, fam. But as we can see on the crypto bubbles on your screen, we got a lot of gainers overall. That means the market cap is pumping and a rising tide rises all ships. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 65 in greed. Yesterday was a 72, last week a 70, and last month a 49, which is neutral. So there you have it, my fam. What's your thoughts on the current Bitcoin price action? Let me know. Are you pumped up for Moonvember? I sure as hell am. And with that being shared, quick shout out again in the chat. What up, Jeff? Much love, fam. David Wrong. Well, Saint abandoning their ETH holdings. I mean, oh, you're talking about Wall Street. Yeah, probably so. I mean, once you got Bitcoin, especially with the ETF on the cusp of getting that ETF approval, there is no second best. So why even waste your time with Ethereum, if you know what I mean? I bet you that's how Wall Street is thinking. But we shall see. You know what I mean? All good, says Jeff. Thank you, fam. Jeff, 110 years. That's right. He was found guilty on all 7 charges. We're going to be discussing that here in a little bit. We got lots to cover. But next, let's dive into our Bitcoin technical analysis for the day. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Bitcoin broke below 35 G's, baby, after the November 2nd Wall Street Open, as analysis warned of overheated derivatives. And as you know, derivatives are financial tools of financial destruction. Yeah, for real. Now, Bitcoin underdoes the post-Fed gains. We're currently tinkering just under that 35,000, which is now back at a resistance. The highs had come on the back of the encouraging language from Jay Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, who in a speech suggested the interest rate hikes might soon end. Now, the Fed opted not to change the rates at the latest meeting on the Federal Open Market Committee, which was November 1st. Quoting their press release, recent indicators suggest the economic activity expanded at a strong pace in the third quarter. Job gains have moderated since earlier in the year, but remain strong, and the unemployment rate has remained low. Inflation remains elevated. An accompanying press release stated. They also shared here that the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient. Sure it is. Tighter financial and credit conditions for households and businesses are likely to weigh on economic activity, hiring, and inflation. The extent of these effects remain uncertain. The committee remains highly attentive to inflation risks. We all know they're full of ish, right? To say the least. And quoting crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Poppe, Bitcoin breaks out, reaches a new yearly high, which is currently just shy of 36 G's. Now, not a massive breakout, but as long as we stay above 34.8, which we currently are, the next target is 36.5 to 37,000, and the altcoins will follow after, which is typically what seems to go down. Now, down over 1,000 from its highs, Bitcoin was worrying some, with derivative markets particularly in the focus. Quoting Charles Edwards at Capriole Investments, all Bitcoin derivatives markets are overheated. At present, this captures the perps, futures, and options. Stay safe out there. And also, we have reacting popular trader Scoo agreed that arguing it was now the spot market to charge of saving the Bitcoin price strength, as he shares here, something to be aware of when sizing up positions currently. When derivatives get hot, this puts increasing focus on spot market to support the current prices and the trend. That's right. In his own analysis, we also had material indicators concluding caution should be applied to the current Bitcoin trading environment, meaning expect more volatility ahead. And uploading the snapshot of liquidity on the Bitcoin order book for the largest global exchange, Binance, it warned support levels were apt to disappear quickly, a form of a rug pull. So you have been warned. Newcomer support gaining liquidity at this time lay at both 34 and 33.5. So there you have it, fam. Again, how many of you are currently bullish on that King Crypto? Let me know in the comments below. And how high do you think we'll climb this Moonvember? Holla at your boy. Shout out to Sophisticated. Appreciate your support. Shout out to Green Thumb. He says, that being said, I think we are closer this time for sure. Let's pressure for ETF approval. That's why today's subject for the video is all about the ETF approval, as one major asset manager is claiming they're expecting it to get the approval of the green light from the SEC this month of November, aka Moonvember. So let's send it. Shout out to Karaoke. Bitcoin is going up, way up. You already know, fam. You preaching to the choir. Shout out to Chris D. We in the bull. You already know. Shout out to Sherry Young. Shout out to Squirrel Bait and the rest of the crypto crew. Digital Dankness. Appreciate you. The more you DCA, the more sats you will hold when the ETF does send the price to Pluto. That's right, exactly. So start stacking sats and front run these major institutions, because once this window of opportunity closes, it'll never, ever reappear. And you're never going to get Bitcoin 2-for-1 discount like at the rates today from the all-time high. And with that being shared, now let's discuss our next story of the day, the latest from Michael Saylor. He was recently interviewed on the news and shared some very positive sentiment in the Bitcoin market. Also, he has been dollar cost averaging and stacking sats. This week, the Bitcoin price came came within a hair of 36. I think we hit like 35,990 during our watch party before abruptly reversing and correcting to 34,250. But after nearly a 30% run over the past month, it is natural for the price to cool off as some traders take profit and market participants evaluate whether or not the catalyst for the rally remain valid. Now, despite the intraday price action, which saw almost 5% drawdown, a number of analysts remain bullish on Bitcoin naturally, and some expect another gamma squeeze if the Bitcoin price manages to push through the 36,300 level. We're only like $400 off of that right now, just FYI. Permables like MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor appear unbothered by the whipsaw price action, and on November 1st, MicroStrategy announced the October purchase of 155 more Bitcoin for 5.3 million. As he outlines here, in October, MicroStrategy acquired additional 155 BTC for 5.3 million bucks, now holding 158,400 BTC. Like, whoa. And what's the most mind-boggling, Saylor didn't even get into Bitcoin until 2020. So it goes to show you, someone can come here in 2023 and become an even bigger whale than Michael Saylor. In fact, the likes of the BlackRocks of the world put Michael Saylor to shame, because we're talking about mega whales on a massive scale. And when asked about the upcoming Bitcoin halving during an interview on Squawk Box, here's what he had to share. Most of the natural sellers of Bitcoin in the market right now are Bitcoin miners, and they have to sell to cover their electricity bills and capital costs and retire their debt. That's about $1 billion per month worth of selling into the market. The protocol forces that to be cut in half as of next April or late April. And he also says, so you're going to see 12 billion bucks of natural selling per year converted to 6 billion of natural selling a year. And at the same time as things like the spot ETFs increase the demand for Bitcoin. So that's why all of us are fairly bullish over the next 12 months. How many of you are bullish? Let me know. Demand is going to increase and supply is going to contract. And this is fairly unprecedented in the history of Wall Street. That's what's up. Now is a pretty ideal entry point for Bitcoin, according to Saylor. Also, he was recently interviewed, and I actually transcribed this video clip when he was speaking on Squawk on the Street, and I feel this is very relevant. Here's what Saylor says. For the industry to move to the next level, we need to migrate to adult supervision. We're going to need the big banks to become the crypto custodians. We're going to need Wall Street to take a role, and we need to rationalize away from the 100,000 crypto tokens, you know, the yo-yo coins that people are manipulating to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an asset without an issuer. It is the one universally recognized protocol that is a commodity in the space. And so when banks on Wall Street and responsible custodians are managing Bitcoin and the industry takes its eyes away from all the shiny little tokens that have distracted and demolished shareholder value, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here. Now, what's another 10x from the current price action? We're talking about roughly, what is that, $350,000 per BTC. Send it and let's freaking go. Also quoting him here, I think the liabilities or the early crypto cowboys, the crypto tokens, which are unregistered securities, the unreliable crypto custodians for the industry, to move to the next level, we're going to need to migrate to adult supervision. And I shared with you the rest of that quote. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the one and only Giga Chad, Michael Saylor. And holla at your boy. Let me know, fam. Now, shout out to the rest of y'all just joining us. Good to see you as well, Web3. Appreciate you. James Elsie, what it do? Like the addition of the poll. I appreciate that. Shout out to Dankness for the idea and the rest of the fam. Anything you think I can do to improve the daily show, let us know in that chat and we'll consider it 100%. Shout out to the moderators, says Green Thumb, for sure. Been watching JV for a long time. The mods are doing the Lord's work up in here. No doubt. They're doing a fantastic job. The mods deserve all the respect in the world. So again, shout out to Dankness. Shout out to the rest of you, CoinFather, shout out to Bitcoin Maximus, shout out to Streamlabs, Cryptolution, what it do, bro? Welcome. Neo Style says, I'm bullish as fudge on an ice cream sundae. It don't get no more bullish than that. Just saying. Yeah, so let's freaking get it. Okay, next story of the day. This is breaking news. SBF has been found guilty on all 7 fraudulent charges. Yeah, this is wild. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to read all this to you. Former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty of all 7 charges by a jury in his criminal trial in New York after about 4 hours of deliberations, meaning it didn't take long. Bankman-Fried was found guilty of 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, 1 count of securities fraud, 1 count of commodities fraud conspiracy, and 1 count of money laundering conspiracy. Good Lord, that's a lot of charges. And it's just getting started. He'll be back in court in March to continue with some more charges he'll probably get guilty of. We'll return to the court for sentences by New York District Judge Lewis Kaplan, March 28th. So that's the date. It's right before the halving. Government prosecutors will recommend a sentence, but Judge Kaplan will have the final say. Now, Bankman-Fried's crimes each carry a maximum sentence of between 5 and 20 years in prison, with the wire fraud conspiracy, and money laundering conspiracy carrying a maximum of 20-year sentence. In a press conference outside the court, the New York Southern District U.S. Attorney Damian Williams called Bankman-Fried's crimes a multi-billion-dollar scheme designed to make him the king of crypto, right? The Michael Jordan of crypto. The Warren Buffett of crypto. And one of the biggest financial frauds in American history, Bankman-Fried's attorney, Mark Cohen, said in a statement, "We respect the jury's decision, but we are very disappointed with the result. Naturally, Mr. Bankman-Fried maintains his innocence and will continue to vigorously fight the charges against him." Anyone here in the chat, we have over 200 people in the live. Anyone believe he is innocent? I am just curious if there's any outliers out there. Anyways, other key FTX execs, including former Alameda CEO Caroline Ellison, FTX co-founder Gary Wang, and former engineering head Nishad Singh, have all pleaded guilty to various charges and worked with the government to testify against Bankman-Fried in the 5-week trial. Now, Bankman-Fried had pleaded not guilty to all the charges, and during his trial, he took the stand to maintain his innocence against the best wishes of his lawyers, who told him to shut the what up. Just saying. And marking the FTX November 2022 collapse as a number of big mistakes I made, he denied any wrongdoing in the FTX relationship with Alameda, attempting to distance himself from key decisions, which we all know is not true. According to the testimonies of their execs, Bankman-Fried pinned the blame on Gary Wang for creating a function that allowed Alameda to trade funds on FTX that it didn't have, and claimed he wasn't entirely sure what happened. "Oh, I don't know what happened," with Alameda's line of credit, which ballooned to billions in the collapsing crypto market of 2022. In his testimony, he also blamed Caroline Ellison for not focusing on risk management. How are you going to blame your ex? That's just wild. Anyways, he didn't believe he defrauded FTX customers by taking over $8 billion worth of their funds. Instead, he framed it as Alameda just borrowing from the exchange. Yeah, borrowing from investors without their permission is called stealing. I just wanted to point that one out. Now, Max Kaiser responded to this attorney who spoke out, and he said, "This is tough talk when it comes to the minor league, the drug Adderall-ish coiner like SBF, but where's all the bravado when Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon," that's the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, "gets caught manipulating markets and defrauding the public again, or the next crooked Warren Buffett bailout? You talk a good game, but you're no different than SBF." And I think Max makes some excellent points. The big dogs get away with this all the time, of course, but clearly there's levels to this ish, if you know what I mean. Now, what are your thoughts surrounding this case? How do you think this will likely continue to play out in March as they continue with the court trial, facing more charges he's up against? Let me know, fam. I appreciate that. Neo says SBF, his family, and everyone who worked with him are guilty as fudge in the inmates' undies. Word up, man. Word up. Guy Smokey says guilty. ETF soon. The casino. I got to look at it on here so I can see it better. This whole hurt the space and needs to pay the price, says Sherry. I believe you're correct, Sherry. I agree with you. Crypto Surge, do you think I should dump all of my 401k into Bitcoin? I don't give investment advice because you got to look in the mirror and make that decision for yourself. But I definitely feel Bitcoin has the most upside compared to any investment. It's the fastest horse in the race. Quoting the billionaire legendary investor Paul Tudor Jones, it also has the least risk out of all the cryptocurrencies. It's the only crypto that has a very clear commodity. It's not a unregistered security. We know that. It is the only safe haven asset. It's the only decentralized asset which cannot be controlled or manipulated. Bitcoin cannot be confiscated. It's incorruptible. It has all of the factors that make it the perfect form of money, the perfect store of value, a hedge against inflation, a hedge against deflation, you name it. But you got to make that decision on your own, fam. Let me know what you decide. Rudy says ETF soon causes the casino fried. Oh, yes, that's right, fam. Lock up Jamie Dimon. Yes, Jamie the Tapeworm deserves to go to prison as well. He is guilty of everything that Bankman-Fried is being accused of on a higher scale, right? Steve says, JV, Stone Cold Steve from Austin back for a live. Word up. Missed you, brother. Still stacking them stats. That's what's up. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. Let's freaking go. No shilling ish coins in the chat, fam. Come on, guys. Lock up Jamie Dimon. We'll soon see what happens. Late to the party. Appreciate you. Juan Romero, Pure Vita, my fam. Appreciate you tuning in. We still got lots to cover. We just finished discussing Sam Bankman-Fried being charged guilty for all counts of fraud, 7 of them. He'll be back in court in March, and I'll be keeping you up to date with the latest. Do you think he'll face a large sentence, life in prison? Do you think he could potentially be pardoned by Sleepy Joe Biden? Because keep in mind, SBF was the second largest donor to the political campaign for Joe Biden. And you know presidents have the power to pardon anyone they wish, right? If he wanted to pardon Julian Assange, he could. They don't want to. They make examples out of people who they consider enemies. Now, Bankman-Fried, I don't know if they consider him an enemy. What are your thoughts? Please let me know. I appreciate all the feedback, fam. Diamond is evil. Agreed. 100%. Anyone calling Bitcoin a pet rock deserves to be in jail. And that's Jamie Dimon for you, fam. You know what I mean? All right, guys, let's tune into our next story of the day. I got some very bullish predictions to share with you. In fact, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 Bitcoin price predictions for 2024 and beyond. Bitcoin continues to circle its highest levels in 18 months. Again, the annual high for the year is currently almost $36,000. But let's dive right into the predictions. First and foremost, Matrix Port predicts 45,000 within 2 months. So 2 months from November would mean January. I could definitely see Bitcoin hitting 40, 50,000 easy peasy before the halving, but let me know your thoughts. Now, that prediction came from Matrix Port, the crypto trading firm founded by Jihan Wu, himself a founder of Bitcoin mining giant Bitmain. In a blog post in late October, Matrix Port doubled down on a 45,000 year-end price target. So that's the Christmas target. Let's go, Santa, which is initially revealed in January. It was based on a handful of in-house models, with Matrix Port also successfully predicting Bitcoin's October gains. Quoting them here, Bitcoin is breaking above the July 31.5 resistance, showing that 45 is achievable by the year's end. And again, I think that's a very doable target, but let me know your thoughts. The next prediction comes from BitQuant. They say new all-time high pre-halving. I also agree with that, especially if we get the ETF approval. I would anticipate above and beyond 69,000 before the April 2024 halving, but that's only if you know what I mean? We'll see how this plays out. The halving is a watershed moment. We all know the blocks subsidies get cut in half for the miners. In September, BitQuant stated Bitcoin would surpass its current 69,000 peak before April of 2024. Now they shared here, no, Bitcoin is not going to top before the halving. Yes, it's going to reach a new all-time high before the halving. No, Bitcoin is not going to 160 Gs because the magnitude of every pullback is large. This means it'll peak after the halving in 2024. And yes, the target price is around $250,000. I love that. That's right in alignment with Max Kaiser's short-term target of $220,000. Now, they also shared this chart. Both the all-time high and the post-halving $250,000 target came courtesy of the Elliott Wave theory charting, which we cover commonly here on the show, with Bitcoin mimicking the behavior from the previous cycles. And you can see their estimation of how the Bitcoin price is likely to rise is coming directly from BitQuant. Now, BitQuant did, however, make room for a total of 4 pullbacks as outlined in this chart. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 before we hit the peak at 5. Quoting them here, there will be one pullback before breaking to a new all-time high, followed by another pullback at around 125,000. Additionally, there will be 2 more pullbacks after the halving, which are not demonstrated here. Now for the next one, 3 Bitcoin price models, $130,000 target zone. That's right. Let's freaking go. Quoting CryptoCon here, I'm prepared for the lower prices, but the stars are aligning at 130 for the Bitcoin this cycle. And the concept also hinges on the halving events, and the next peak should come around 4 years after the $69,000 move in November of 2021. We all know everything is cyclical in Bitcoin every 4 years, driven by the halving. Now the $1 million question. How about a $1 million Bitcoin price target? Leads us to Kathy Wood of ARK Invest, the CEO and Chief Investment Officer, has joined former BitMEX CEO Arthur Hayes in doubling down on her 7-figure price prediction. When this could happen, happen, understandably up for debate, but changing macroeconomic tides have emboldened what remains a daring Bitcoin price prediction. In October, Hayes maintained that the path to a $1 million coin was in full effect thanks to the macro reality. Now, quoting Blockworks on the Margin podcast right here, this was shared actually on an interview. If people lose faith in the bond market and this fiat artificial construction we have created over the past 80 to 100 years, this global economy and how it has been structured, if we lose confidence in that, then the amount of money that's going to be looking for an alternative is going to be something that we have never seen before, he shared over in an interview. And speaking of Cathie Wood, she was just on Bloomberg, and here's what she shared when she was asked, what's a better hedge against inflation? Is it Bitcoin or is it gold? And very boldly, she said, Bitcoin hands down is a hedge against both inflation and deflation. Yes, so is gold, but Bitcoin is digital. And if you look at the incremental demand we are going to see, but gold already has its demand. You know, it happened already, right? Bitcoin is new and institutions are barely involved, and the young people would much rather prefer to hold Bitcoin than hold gold. Preach. So it's interesting that both gold and Bitcoin are hedges against deflation, but Bitcoin's been doing better recently. Preach. And Bitcoin naturally will consider outpacing gold. I think it was Max Kaiser who said for every dollar the Bitcoin price action increases, for every dollar the gold price increases, expect Bitcoin to go up by over $20, meaning it will continue to outpace gold by a factor of 20. Let me know if you agree or disagree, fam. Shout out to Steve Randall. My 401k and ESPP work investment funds are all in Bitcoin, and I did that 2 years ago and never looked back. So how are your gains in comparison to if you would have just kept it not in Bitcoin in your 401k? I'd love to know the difference. Steve, what it do? Welcome, Jim. Bitcoin will be 100,000 when he is sentenced. Yeah, right. By the time of the halving, good probability. Cash out the 401 and buy Bitcoin? Ask Scott. That's a question you got to ask yourself. Karaoke Asia says Bitcoin is getting bullish. 42,000 this week. That's right. And we do have analysts calling for 48,000 within the first 2 weeks of November, which could be wild. That's another $14,000 price increase. We're already up over 100% for the year, and we're just getting moving. Moving your pension will get you in big trouble with your spouse. Sage advice coming from Jeff S. SBF gave us newbies a chance to get in at the good prices. His only good deed. Amen, Tony. Thank you for sharing. Let's be real. 50,000 target. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm with you on that. I'm sticking with Bitcoin to hit 157,000 by 2025. We'll see how it plays out. I'll be keeping you posted. And we spoke about Cathie Wood and her $1 million price prediction. In fact, she even has a bullish case scenario by the year 2030 of Bitcoin hitting $1.48 million. Keep that in mind. But now let's discuss Arthur Hayes, the BitMEX founder, predicting Bitcoin price to rally 2,700%, taking us to $1 million per coin. And then we'll dive into the latest updates with the likelihood of the spot Bitcoin ETF being approved this month in November, according to the major asset manager. Here we go. BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes is doubling down on a prediction the Bitcoin is destined to reach the seven-figure price. Hayes says that a monetary policy tool known as the yield curve control will act as the catalyst for Bitcoin to reach that 1 million mark, a gain of around 2,700% from the current level. Send it. Let's go. Central banks use the yield curve control to influence the long-term interest rate level by buying long-term bonds as much as possible to prevent the rate from rising above the intended target. And according to Hayes, the entire U.S. government is enabling a loose monetary policy environment, even as the Fed continues tightening. Now, the BitMEX founder first predicted seven-figure Bitcoin earlier this year in March in that essay, which I covered here on the show. And at the time, he argued that China's loosening of its monetary policy would trigger Bitcoin to explode to $1 million per coin. Hayes also says the decision by the Fed mid this week paused the rate hike interest rate suggests it's time to pump it up. Pump it up. And according to the BitMEX founder, the Fed's decision would trigger other central banks to also ease their monetary policy. Quoting him here, over to you, BTC. Let's go. I shall increase the pace of my rotation out of treasury bills and into Bitcoin and ish coins. Now that the Fed had paused over 2 meetings, every other central bank has cover to print. Expect massive stimulus coming from China, Europe, and Japan. So there you have it, coming directly from Crypto Hayes, just blaze. Let's get it. And massive shout out again to y'all just joining us. If you're gaining value out of today's show, the greatest compliment, very simple. All I got to do is hit that like button, fam. It helps out tremendously. It helps get more eyeballs on the content, and it helps bring in mass Bitcoin adoption, which we all want, right? Shout out to you guys out there in the chat just joining us. Much love, much respect. T-Man-Cool24, appreciate you as well. Big up from Dublin, Ireland. Love the content. Thank you, Ray Grafton. Much love, much respect to my Irish fam. Steve says, I took those funds and moved them to Bitcoin. Work ESPP was putting it 12% stock at work. Couldn't touch Bitcoin. So that money that was being wasted in my ESPP also went to BTC. Well, it sounds like you made an epic move. I'm wishing you massive success, Steve, and keep doing your thing. Shout out to Megadon. What was the outcome of the closed door meeting at the SEC? I mean, that's a great question. Who knows? I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall, but we know that they didn't change the rates. So is what it is. What else we got here? Decades for SBF and well-deserved, predicts Alex. Probably right. Bitcoin is getting bullish. I mean, I think we have been bullish all year, and I think the bullish momentum is likely to continue. You know what I mean? But what are your thoughts, fam? Now for the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's dive into our featured story of the day and discuss a Bitcoin ETF being approved this month in November. And what would that mean for the crypto market? Let's break this baby down. We have Stephen McClurg, the Chief Investment Officer at Valkyrie Investments, has put forth a strong indication that a landmark approval from the US SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF can transpire by the month's end. Send it and let's go. The approval of the spot ETF is currently one of the biggest factors influencing the Bitcoin price as well as the entire crypto market's trajectory. You can say that again. Now, alongside the financial giants such as BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, Fidelity, which is about half the size of BlackRock, we got VanEck, we got Invesco, we got Valkyrie, one of the companies at the forefront of the battle with the SEC over the spot ETF. We also have Grayscale. Don't forget the GBTC product. We have the firm managing 2 Bitcoin related ETFs at the moment. Now, Valkyrie Bitcoin and Ether Strategy ETF and the Valkyrie Bitcoin Miners ETF with a combined asset value of $51.1 million at this time. And they also have active filings for spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, McClurg, citing the latest amendments to Valkyrie's spot Bitcoin ETF app, anticipates the SEC will issue another series of comments within the next weeks, potentially setting the stage for the approval of the 19B4 rule changes by the end of the month. Send it, quoting him here. Before anything else happens, we get a second round of comments, and I believe we'll probably get those comments in the next 1 to 3 weeks. A late November approval likely means a February launch. So note that if we get the green light in November, it means the Bitcoin ETF would likely launch a few months later in February, which would be right in time again for the Bitcoin halving. Now, he also shared with ETF.com this interview suggesting a timeline for the SEC's response to these crucial amendments. He also argues the SEC can wait until January to ask the applicants to put the final touches on their S1 filings. So that's the other alternative scenario. Now, Nate Gerasi, host of the ETF Prime Pod, explained that Valkyrie CIO suggests SEC can approve the 19B4's exchange rule changes for the spot Bitcoin ETFs by the end of November, and then the S1 registration statements early next year. These don't have to be approved at the same time, so keep that in mind, though they need both for the ETFs to begin trading. Now, in recent weeks, the SEC has been actively communicating with ETF apps and disclosed that the agency is carefully scrutinizing all spot Bitcoin ETF apps. The focal points of the SEC's inquiry have pertained to the comprehensive explanation of various risk disclosures, methodologies concerning index usage, and net asset value computations, environmental risk inclusions, as well as detailed insights into custodial practices. Recent amendments to filings by entities such as BlackRock and VanEck have been augmented to elucidate how initial fund seeding could be conducted. And also note that BlackRock already began seeding their ETF back in October, which was last month. This is something that Larry Fink, their CEO, has already disclosed. Now, because of that, industry experts remain cautiously optimistic. We have Matt Hogan, the CIO of Bitwise Asset Management, highlighting lingering concerns. Quoting him here, market manipulation is still a potential stumbling block. Custody isn't. a wrap. So there is still a lot of work to do, he stated. Now, the anticipation isn't purely speculative. The man forecast suggests substantial interest. McClurg envisions about $10 billion flowing into these products within the first 1 to 2 months post-launch, while Bitwise's projects $50 billion in inflows within the first 5 years. I think that's extremely conservative. I could see trillions of inflows within 5 years, but hey, to each their own. Valkyrie revised its spot Bitcoin ETF filing October 30th, a few days ago, with an S1 registration statement submitted to the SEC outlining the Valkyrie ETF. The proposed fund shares are intended to be listed under the ticker BRRR on the NASDAQ stock exchange. Valkyrie updated their app in part of a wider trend, as several firms have similarly refiled their spot ETF apps, signaling a concerted effort toward regulatory compliance and optimism for approval. Bloomberg ETF analyst James Safeheart identified these amendments as positive signals for progress and possible imminent approvals. Let me know which you think will get the green light first from the SEC. We all know it's imminent. We all know it's going to happen. But when? Is it going to be November? Is it going to be December? Could it be January? Could it be March? Let me know in the live poll we have on the screen. Take advantage of that. I want to know. Right now, we only have 236 votes. Blow that mofo up and let's go. I'm going to read some of your comments and then I have some more content to share. Hey, I have something to say. What it do? I wish the poll had a choice of never. You really think they're never going to approve it? For real, for real? I have 0.7 BTC, says Spidey. Well, congratulations, fam. That's what's up. Keep stacking them stats. You're almost a whole coiner. Spidey, got to do what it got to do. How much Bitcoin do you guys own? Now, keep in mind, guys, it's probably in your best interest to never reveal what you hold, right? Now, Ray Grafton, big up. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning into the live. I have some bonus content to share with you before we dive into the live Q&A. This is from Jurian Timmer. Why is this so relevant? He is the head of macro at Fidelity. Fidelity being a $4.5 trillion asset manager. He's the one who predicted a $1 billion Bitcoin price by the year 2038. And here's something he just recently shared. He shares some incredible threads I want to share with you. Bitcoin is volatile, but its scarcity and adoption curve create the potential for it to be a high-powered hedge against monetary shenanigans. I think of it as exponential gold. And in this chart, it shows you Bitcoin going past $1.2 million per coin. That's pretty sexy, gets me excited. As he shares here, one of the attributes of Bitcoin is that it's a network asset. And as such, its adoption curve has followed the typical S-curve shape. We have seen many of the S-curves throughout history. And he continues here in the thread, the question, where is Bitcoin's journey along that S-curve? A network asset's value is driven by its adoption curve, so the slope of that curve matters a lot. Makes a good point. And when I first went down this rabbit hole in late 2020, its adoption curve, which I define as the number of non-zero addresses, was very steep. It resembled the S-curve for mobile phones during the 1980s and the 1990s, which was pretty promising. I'm going to read you a few more. Now, however, as the real rate narrative changed from dovish in 2020 to hawkish in 2022. The adoption curve flattened, and it is now closer to the slope of the internet adoption curve from the 2000s, and it has not made much progress since 2021. Now, we also had some other threads which are very valuable. I'm just going to read the lead part of it. With Bitcoin moving up once again, will its adoption curve accelerate as it did a few years ago? And how does the macro trend on rates affect it? There's some very insightful data. If you want this, check the show notes below the video in the description. I'll include all of this. And he had one more good thread continuing the discussion from the recent thread on Bitcoin. I highly recommend you check this out because, again, this is the head of macro over at Fidelity, one of the world's largest asset managers. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Massive shout out to everyone joining us. Now let's dive into our live Q&A session. If you're gaining value out of today's show, you already know what to do. So let's get it. Triple J69 says, guilty as what? In my DMX voice. Steve Randall, JV is right. Never speak of what you have to anyone. And when you make big gains, also keep that to yourself. Right. That's sage advice. I recommend that to everyone. And unless you've been extorted, you're probably not putting that into play and into practice. If you have been extorted before, then you would never tell someone what you hold. It don't matter if it's Bitcoin, don't matter if it's gold, doesn't matter if it's US dollars, because people can't take from you what you don't have, right? So it's best to remain quiet and discreet and be smart, because you never know. You may be extorted in the future and they can use that against you. They can be like, yo, I know XYZ has X amount of crypto. He announced, you know what I mean? So always be cautious. I can't stress that enough. Just wanted to share that. Bitcoin is going up. Do not miss it. Always wholesome BTC. BTC to 60,000 soon. That's right. And now I actually want to share something. I have an intro contest going on. And here's the details on the intro contest for anyone who wants to participate. Here's a short 28-second video. Here we go.
Welcome, fam. We have a contest coming. Let's freaking go. CNA needs an intro video clip to our show. Everyone is welcome to submit a clip, even Gary freaking Gensler. The video clip must be between 10 seconds and no longer than 30 seconds, and the CNA community family will vote on the winner. The winner will be announced before January 1st, 2024 when we launch the new intro. For full details on the contest, join our Discord channel at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net.
So there you have it, fam. Intro contest. If any of you are creators and want to be involved, the winner is going to be played every episode. So it's going to get a lot of airtime. You'll get a lot of recognition. And so it's going to be fun. So also what's most interesting about that is that was created using AI. That's not me saying that. Someone, I think it was Passive, correct me if I'm wrong, Dankness, is that Passive Income AI who created this? But they used AI to simulate my voice and say something I have never said before. The power of frickin' AI, fam. But anyways, now you guys know. For more info, visit the Discord. It's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. I greatly appreciate that, fam. Much love, much respect. And let me know what you think of that AI clip that was generated on my behalf. Jamie the Sneaky Sneak. Yeah, you were referring to Jamie the Tapeworm. I lost my Bitcoin in a boating accident. Smart, Scott. Because didn't Alex Jones, when he just interviewed Max Kaiser and did the quiz for the 10,000 BTC, which I covered, I did a live JV React session. Alex Jones is quoted saying, "Max, I know you're sitting on top of 1 million Bitcoin." And then what was Max's response? "No, I lost it all years ago in a boating accident." That's the proper response. We got to educate you plebs. Bitcoin is the only way to reach financial freedom for the common people. Preach. It sounded like AI. Well, it was AI. Spidey says Bitcoin was sitting at 26 a month ago. What a difference, right? Incredible. This all started off of the false rumor that the BlackRock ETF got approved. We started pumping like overnight, and we just kept rising. You gotta love it. I have a whole UDST. That's right. I'm a whole coiner of Tether USDT as well. Just wanted to throw that out there. A whopping $1. Bitcoin is the only way. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, my profits are crypto increasing. Everyone look into running and connecting your own Bitcoin full node. I'm glad you brought that up, Jack Ono. How many of you guys are currently running your own node? Let me know. That is pretty cool. Become a part of Bitcoin. Become the network, right? Health is your wealth. Bitcoin is your freedom. Preach, Jim, crypto junkie. Kishuin power. We are so lucky. Not all the people out here have crypto. Preach. Sold my house for crypto. Smart man or woman. Now I am still in profit. Congratulations, fam. That's what's up. Much love, much respect. I love celebrating success of other people. You know what I mean? Appreciate you tuning in, Emilio. Much love, much respect. Let's get it. 60,000 soon, anyone? New all-time highs incoming. Bring it. Yeah. Vincent, Mark, what up, my man? Appreciate you. My mortgage account and Bank of America checking are locked right now because a system-wide cyber attack on the financial systems. Wow. The legacy financial systems are not safe. They're very easily hackable. McAfee would talk about this a lot. Shout out to Scott. Thank you for sharing. Hopefully it gets fixed. And hopefully you take all of your USD and ish coins out of the banking system cartels, put it in Bitcoin. Why not? You know what I mean? Thanks for the explanation. You're very welcome. Wow, your avatar actually spoke. That's right, Jeff. Isn't that wild? I appreciated it because I didn't have to do anything and record anything. And it's like JV is speaking. Maybe I need to clone myself. Should I even be doing these lives every day? What if I can clone myself? And the clone is doing a better job than I can personally do? Would you accept that? That'd be crazy, right? If you never own an asset, how will you ever be rich? That's right. And Bitcoin is the perfect asset. You know what I mean? Yep. It sounds... Yeah, it's true though. You know what I mean? Anyways, this halving is around the corner. ETF, right now we have 271 votes. I'm gonna click on it. Actually, let me look at it on my phone. So we have, here's the poll, because the poll is closing. I'm going to give everyone one last moment to put your vote in the live chat for the spot ETF approval date. Currently, we have 37% of the people voted for November. We have 20% of the people voted December. 28% say January, the new year, and only 15% say March. So most of you are pretty bullish on that ETF approval. Obviously, I would accept the clone, says Fredo. Well, now I got to look into it. Thank you. You hear that, dankness? If you can clone JV, let's make it happen. Crypto is the future for financial freedom. Didn't Michael Saylor just say something about positive about XRP recently? No, there was an article that was published, and you got to be very careful how these articles read, but I didn't hear it if he did. But I did see an article that suggested XRP price soaring, like let's say XRP is going to soar 80%, and then it said, comma, Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoin, but it didn't mean Michael Saylor said XRP was going to rise 80%. Michael Saylor says there is no second best. No second best means he's a Bitcoin maxi. You know what I mean? Loud and clear. I just wanted to clear that up. Anyways, fam, I got to pick up my daughter shortly. We're going to end this YouTube stream. However, we're simultaneously streaming right now on Rumble, as I do each and every day. I'm going to spend some time on Rumble. We're going to do a live, uncensored JV React session here on Crypto News Alerts. I encourage everyone to follow me on Rumble. If you're not already following me, what are you doing with your life? Just saying. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or simply just type in Crypto News Alerts into Rumble, whether you're on your mobile phone or on your computer, either way. But I look forward to seeing you over on Rumble. But just note, tomorrow's live is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. We go back to our normal time. Just every once in a while, we got to do the 12 o'clock streams because of my schedule. But anyways, I appreciate all the support. Much love. I really enjoyed your channel, said John. Thank you, John. I appreciate you, fam. Thanks for tuning in. AI version of JV, James. You already know. Yeah, but anyways, Crypto fam on YouTube, I am out. Head on over to Rumble, and I'll see you all there here shortly. Peace. All right, guys, the YouTube stream should be finito. Just give me a second to pull up over on Rumble.